Hi there, this is Jim Auspitz. I want to thank Sunda. An enjoyable experience to be on Talk Show on the Go. Great show. Watch it on YouTube, watch it on all the other platforms. All I can say is it's been a fun experience. So tune in next time for Talk Show on the Go.
Boom. Feeling the magic? We're feeling the magic. You feeling the magic? We feeling the magic. Jim Auspitz is here with us today. I'm Sunda Croonquist. This is Talk Show on the Go. And I'm just showing a little bit of this live on the phone because I'm lazy and tacky, and I'm not going to put it up there because I want you guys to follow me on Talk Show on the Go on YouTube. Now, let me tell you something. Who you should be following is this guy who's the coolest guy you're ever going to meet. And if you got a story, he's got a song for it. Jim Auspitz, how did you do this? How did you get 3 Grammy Awards?
Actually, I didn't get 3 Grammy
Who
Awards.
got them? What they?
No,
Silver Records?
actually, the one Grammy Award was for the Taylor Dayne song "I'll Always Love You."
Oh, and I had that wrong.
So you had that wrong, but that song got a Grammy.
It
And
did
that
get a,
yes, and that was the song that is my claim to that sort of publishing fame.
right, and Smokey Robinson.
And Smokey Robinson,
Right.
just to see her,
Just to see her.
just to see you.
Oh my God, just to see me is just so much. Let me tell you something. He's the man with the $1 million smile, but I really have a $1 million smile. We talk about teeth, and we talk about a lot of stuff. And what I like about you, Jim, is that you know what? You're just not a white dude. First of all, you're Jewish, and you're proud of your of being Jewish, very proud, and you're also, if I may say, observant.
Observant of what?
I mean, observant Jew. You keep kosher. You know what I mean?
That's actually the kosher thing is the one thing that I have continued to do in terms of any ritual or whatever.
Really.
Yeah,
For how long?
I've been kosher now since 1992.
Wow. How much money have you spent at that butcher? We know about meat, and we know about. Please.
Well, there
It's the
is
best.
to me the issue is, do you eat an animal that has eaten another animal? And I don't want to eat that kind of animal. Like I want to eat an animal that eats plants because I'm not crazy about salads to begin with.
So yeah, Jim doesn't do stand up, but he did have an experience at the Troubadour. Could you share it with us?
Did I actually tell you that story?
Did I mention he's from Newark? Or is it Irvington?
No. Actually, on the border of Irvington, my sister, who is dead now,
She's definitely dead, right?
She went to West Side High School.
Oh my God, West
at
Side.
the time that Jerry Lewis went to Irvington High School, and they did,
They hook up.
Actually, they didn't. It was a football game where they all got together. There was a rivalry back in the 40s and 50s.
Even then?
Even then.
Come on. It's still going on.
What, between Irvington and West Side?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's still going on. Jersey, you can leave Jersey, but for some reason you
Jersey
keep telling.
doesn't leave you.
No, you are one of the most non-clandestine individuals I've ever met. Okay, you're very to the point. I would just like to share how I met Jim. And I met him. Aviva, my oldest daughter, was chosen to sing with Sam Glazer, and it was amazing. And the teachers were so rude. Remember, they walked out on her performance. The principal walked out. The headmaster walked out because she was phenomenal. And you felt that. She was the only kid that sung at 9, remember?
Yeah.
And you said, listen, kid, are you serious about this? Or are you just playing around? And, you said, are you just effing around? And she says, oh, you don't talk to me like that. She goes, I'm just a little girl. Meanwhile, come on, this kid grows up with a mom from Jersey. She knows every word, okay? But You've worked with Aviva, you've worked with Tova, and you've worked with stars. And I just want to tell you that I had one of the gentlemen that works here, one of the producers here, Joffrey Francisco, who just loved your music. And I find that era very depressing. And that's probably what I was born to. I was thinking about that.
What do you mean?
Because I guess my mother and father liked that music. Like every time that they would drink, I'm talking about my birth mother and birth father. Fly me to the moon and let me hey baby, camel walk, and you're like, oh god, here's a party.
Well, the story with that song is that there is it's a lounge song. Everybody does it, you know, and it was made famous by a lot of popular crooners during the 50s and 40s, including you name any singer and of that era, and they sang that song, and none of them has none of those versions, and you know you could go into any stupid well, now you can't go anywhere, but when when you used to be able to go into a bar and listen to a little bit of music, you would hear that song performed by whoever was there. But the version that we did with you, I think, captures the essence of the song, which is that love is like going out into outer space, where the idea of wanting to be with a person is like cosmic. And I think that our version, what you did with us, creates that feeling.
What he's talking about is an album that I'm petrified to come out because, as you guys know, I don't sing. Right.
Well, wait a second now. When you say who
They
you
actually
first of all,
played it
who are
on the
you
moon. Did you
talking?
know this? That they played it on the moon?
What?
Fly Me to the Moon was
No,
played on the moon?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that? This is just something because I can't refer to my phone at the same time because it's rude and this is a podcast, but I just wanted to say that someone did tell me that. And
Well, who are you talking to on the phone?
I'm talking to Quincy Jones's daughter, Martina Jones. Say hi.
Hi.
She might know something about music. Yes, Jim Auspitz has done so many great things, and you know I can't sing. Yes.
I remember one incident that Mr. Quincy Jones was. We were at it was a meeting of publishers and musicians, and he was giving a talk on how to deal in the music business. You know, and great stories. But I
But you
have
like
that
the old
ability.
hacky ones. Oh, he likes
I
the old hacky ones.
I have that ability to 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 see the jewels. You know, I consider myself not only in music but in almost everything that I've done as Rumpelstiltskin. I'm including law, as a matter of fact, and
Yes, he's an attorney.
that I turn shit into gold. And
I'm shit when it comes to singing.
uh,
Nobody always says,
wait.
if you would train, Sunda. And I was trained with Adrian Angel, that Cher's coach. Now, excuse me, now you know why I sound, when people say, sometimes you sound like Cher when you're not impersonating her. And I'm like, maybe we have the same coach. La, 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 lion. Ah, crazy. I have to apply so many techniques for singing when I teach my comedy because people are accustomed to talking very quickly. Now, normally I don't talk this slowly, but because I'm doing a show and I know that people are looking, I'm speaking at a slower pace. When I call Jim Auspitz, we have a conversation in 2.3 minutes and we cover a lot of dirt. Really quick. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Talk to your daughter, how's your grandson? Where you going? I got to go. I'll meet you downstairs. I'll come in. Where are you? I'm downstairs. I can't find what happened. Sunda, where are you? I'm like, I don't know. Do you have my phone? He's like, I have your hat. Yes, I've gone back for a hat. I've gone back for a phone. Boy.
But I don't want you to underrate your singing because you have a sound. That's all you need. the technique of singing in terms of rhythm, in terms of pitch, in terms of all the technical aspects. We're able to really fix it in the studio now. It's
But
amazing,
here's my
you know.
question to you.
Yeah.
So you believe you can teach someone to sing? Am I right?
It no, not exactly. You need an inherent amount of talent. I mean, otherwise, what the fuck for? You know, do something else. I mean, you don't have to be a singer. There's few people who who have that. Uh, like I've heard great singers that that touch you. You get goosebumples and stuff like that. And you've introduced me to one of the artists on my label.
I told you she could sing.
She could sing.
She could. I send
Yeah.
him people that can sing, so he doesn't use me. I'm like, I know people who can sing. You know you're in trouble. You know you're in trouble. You know you're in trouble when you go to an audition, and the woman ahead of you is singing Amazing Grace, and she's getting a standing O, and it's an audition, and then I come in. And let me tell you, that man tried to stop me, and I said to him, "Oh no, wait! I practiced the second verse, and I've never seen a more miserable person. I can tell you that, just absolutely miserable. 'Cause I once was lost, but now I'm found."
Oh boy.
But the training really happened for me with the melodians. You had to be chosen. When I was a kid, if you didn't sound good, you weren't chosen in my school. They were like, "You suck, next, go to therapy when you're 13." And that's really how it was. So you had to be good to be in this group called the Melodians. And we would perform at midnight mass. And that was the only chance I ever had to sing, really. And that's why I'm known for so many of those church songs. But ironically, what I didn't know is when I went on The View, I did an impression of Cher singing Sons of God, which you hear at every mass. Eat his body, drink his blood, then we'll sing a song of love. This is not meant for the Jews in the house who are saying no coffee, no cake. They get a call from ASCAP. They have to pay for that song. Did you know that?
It was probably the arrangement because you can't copyright a public domain. You know.
But who would think that anybody would be able to figure out a song and find that fast? Like so many songs come from church. When I was looking at the James Brown story, "Oh Mary, don't you weep. Oh baby, don't you weep." When he was talking about so many songs coming from gospel, I wish I had that experience. I never did. I was never, it wasn't like I was in a Baptist church every week. Trust me. My mother was a Jehovah's Witness. Her mother was a Jehovah's Witness. I had cousins who took me to
Did
church.
she knock on doors?
My mother, yeah.
She really did that.
Yeah.
I
That's a real missionary. That's
I,
real
I
crazy
remember
stuff.
once I
Don't be
when
mean to them. Don't be mean to the Jehovah's Witnesses. They mean no harm,
well
Jim.
I was
And they love Jews.
I was this was when B was
She
she
was
was
ill.
stricken with cancer
And you were angry.
and I was angry and they came to the door uh, and I basically lost it, you know. So it
Wow.
wasn't nice. I wasn't nice. I started yelling and screaming. I forget what I said, but it
Oh, I feel
wasn't
so
nice.
bad too because
Yeah.
once you know something about Jehovah's Witnesses, it's very odd. We were talking about this because, I always refer to Joffrey when it comes to the Joffrey and Jean team. I always go to him for religion because he appreciates comparative religions, to know what things are, what he's doing on Shabbos, what prayer is, why is it being said, why does a woman say this or that. And I love that interest in Judaism.
Well, I practice Jim's Judaism, and and
He's got some
uh,
Jimmy juice.
and the reason why I say that is that the there's beautiful ideas in Judaism, like don't kill, don't steal, and part of stealing in the Talmud they go into fraud, embezzlement, a whole series of things, but the idea that there's a central deity that cares about whatever the fuck we're doing on this planet makes no sense to me. And and the idea that Uh, we can go back in time through the telescope and the current terrific astrophysical technology that exists. We could go back in time, and there's going to be a new telescope that's going to replace the Hubble that can go back to the year maybe 350,000 years after the Big Bang. But as far as I can see, it's an impossibility to ever get to anywhere near the time of the Big Bang, and it's never going to be able to figure out or see or understand before the Big Bang. And so, how anybody can ever assume that there was one particular deity that created all that, it's based on no evidence whatsoever. It's a lawyer would say,
That's oral
objection,
tradition.
Your Honor. It states facts without evidence. We'll never know. And the impossibility of human beings as animals to ever understand how this universe was started and whether there was multiple universes before or what's coming after uh, is an impossibility for humans.
But
That
all I think about is death lately. I gotta tell you that. I'm cleaning out my drawers
well, there's it's funny you mention that because
because we're Scorpios.
there's an article in today's New York Times as a plug to the New York Times, uh, where this one guy is talking to different people about death, and he talked to this specialist who was some philosophical atheist, and you know, they didn't come down to the reality. We're animals. We have a finite time here. Just like our dogs have 13 years, like Bodie. He's 12. He's getting old. He's like 65
Yeah,
in
my
human
dog went
terms.
22. They don't
Yeah,
stop at 16.
yeah.
And you know what's funny is that you bring up this and you have music in your life, and there's a question that Martina has for you, and this is Quincy's daughter. She wants to know what is the difference between pitch and tone.
It's a big difference.
Is it
And
something that someone just has, or can it be learned?
I
Pitch versus tone. My
a
mistake.
pitch can be ascertained, and through vocal training, you can you can train your ear to hear the difference between when a B flat and you hit the B flat and it's not exactly there. So are you a little bit below it, or a little bit above it? That's pitch. Tone. Uh, it's like this one of my trumpet players, Ramon Flores. He has a tone you feel it in your heart. It's like your voice that when you sing, Sunda, you have such a, I call it a commercial voice, like my sister Blanche, may she rest in peace, by the way. She had a commercial voice, something you could easily
You love the
listen
Sister
to.
Blanche.
You could something that you could listen to on the radio. So tone is everything for a professional
And is there a
singer.
connection between pitch and tone?
uh Listen to Louis Armstrong, probably the most brilliant singer ever.
It's not my
And
question, by the way, but
yeah,
since people are asking and it's
he
interactive all of a sudden, I think that
he
we ought to answer these questions. You're the
he
smart one.
he's his tone, you had to get accustomed to it. But his brilliance was he used his voice as a trumpet
He
player.
used his voice as an instrument for real, for real.
For real, for real. And everybody from who was the guy before Bing Crosby? There was
Hell no. Who was it, Joffrey, before Bing Crosby?
the big time crooner before Crosby.
Lanza?
No, no, no,
No
no,
Italians?
no, no, no.
No
This was
disrespect.
some white Protestant guy.
Pat Boone?
Please.
Did
No, Crosby was in the
Who?
30s.
he dance?
No, no.
A
Anyway,
crooner.
a crooner. But the point is, from that point through Bing Crosby, through Frank Sinatra, and then all the rest, even the Boones, if you want to go that insipid, uh, they all had a decent sounding voice, but they were not really singers. Uh, I think the most popular white singer who was a singer would be Peggy Lee.
Oh
You
man.
know,
If that's all there is, my friends, then let's keep dancing.
well,
Let's break out the blowing. Have a ball or two, if that's all there is.
que será?
Whatever will
Be
be,
will
will
be.
be.
Yeah.
My hairline's too far back to see. Que sera, sera. Wow, we should do songs like that. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what shall I be? She said, make sure that he wears a rubber so it doesn't burn when you pee. Que sera, sera. Don't ever let the pee be. Oh my God, am I that crazy? Another Scorpion just came, Lisa Boyd. Her birthday is also in November, saying happy birthday to you in advance because we like to cover all options here. Okay, we never let anything go by. First of all, Jim Auspitz is a white man in a black body. I can't explain this, but everything he does is like rhythm, soul, blues. He knows songs most people don't know. Step right up, hurry, hurry before the show begins. Who was it? Now let the sideshow begin.
Yeah.
Blue Magic.
Yes.
You said it
Yes.
was one of the best.
One of the best.
One of the best and the most forgotten.
Yeah.
Why? And what was the story with everybody talking about the Jewish songwriters taking the black recorders money, the black, you know, money in the business? Where did that?
Well, you're bringing up two subjects. One is maybe cultural appropriation in terms of writing R&B tunes, like Carol, who I forget.
Tina Marie.
Well, Tina Marie, but who wrote Respect and who wrote Carol? I can't think of
Aretha
it.
Franklin didn't write it?
No, she didn't write it. And she was a successful singer too. She would her last performance, I think, was with James.
Brown, Ingram,
No, James, the white guy,
Taylor.
James Taylor.
Okay. His
Carol,
wife, Carol.
you know who I'm
Yes,
thinking.
Carol
Yeah,
King.
Carol King. Now she was she and her ex-husband, wrote all these
Oh my
songs that were
God.
great songs. So if your question is concerning cultural appropriation, because I don't think so, because music is music. Music is music, and I think it's a blessing that America's arts is fundamentally based on African American
I
culture.
love that. And I love that you
Yeah.
say that. And I love that you are definitely the man that has a song for every story. I'll tell him something about a bee in my hive. He'll like, I got a story for that. I mean, a song for that. He always has a song for something. And you truly do appreciate, I mean, you go beyond when it comes to black culture. I always say black, you say African American. I got my problems. You got yours. But imagine being like, really, me. Not easy.
I can conceive of it, but it's very hard to, you know, the closest I came when I came out to California for the first time, I didn't know really anybody. I had an uncle here, but it was like not knowing 20 million people here. Uh, so I had to look for a job when I came out, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't, I had a law background and a law degree, but I wasn't a lawyer, and yet I didn't take the bar yet. And so it was very difficult for me to find a job. And so I went to this, and I thought, oh, I can't go to an employment agency. That was so beneath me. But I went,
Jersey boy.
yeah. I
Jersey
went,
boy.
and the lady at the desk, we spoke for around 5 minutes, and she said, "You have, I don't have a job for you." She said, "You have basically two problems. You're from New York and you're Jewish." and
Wow.
and and she said, and very quietly, I'm Jewish
You know, Jews can't whisper.
too. But when I went out, I walked out, I was really upset. And so, life is so fucking hard that when you have that additional thing to deal with, I mean, it gets to be really hard. And so, that's one experience. But imagine the average African American person just on everyday shit.
Just every
I
day,
mean,
just going to the store.
just going to the store. I mean,
Just trying to go to the store.
yeah, it's unreal.
And you know what, Jim?
But also, I want to point out because I had this discussion yesterday with my son-in-law, is that you know there is a fringe in the African American community that is anti-Semitic, and I don't understand why they would even why they would be talking about.
It's horrible.
Israel, and because of that, and
They
the
haven't been, that's why.
well,
Once they
and
go, they'll
and
come back different.
and when one of the leaders of the women's march,
Would it be this
was
woman up here?
I
That's
don't I
she's
believe
the
she's
co-producer of Black Lives Matter,
she's
actually.
the congresswoman from Massachusetts. I believe her name is Miss Presley. I'm not sure, so don't quote me about the name.
Don't
But
worry.
but the point is that when asked about the black Muslim Reverend Farrakhan, who
That
has
started it.
that started it because
Carol Bayer Sager, by the way.
the issue is that he has over a generation and for years have spoken derisively and I'm saying it nicely,
come on.
very anti-Semitic.
These brothers were in
Well,
jail.
that's a different story than what we're Mr. or Reverend Farrakhan came after that
I know, and
and
destroyed it.
changed
And destroyed it. It was a beautiful thing to see them change.
because the original black Muslims that Malcolm X
Yep.
was involved with has gone mainstream Islam, and they're not like a sect, which Reverend Farrakhan's group is. As a matter of fact, I have a close friend. He's an Ethiopian Jew. He came in the United States in the mid '80s, and at that time I was sort of involved in helping the Ethiopian Jewish population migrate to Israel, and he said he would go to one of the black Muslim meetings with Reverend Farrakhan. He wanted to talk to them to say that he's wrong about what he says about Judaism and about Jewish people. And he wouldn't allow it. He wasn't allowed.
But you know what I heard? Because they gossip like crazy in the hospitals. When he had surgery, when he had to have surgery,
You're talking about Reverend Farrakhan?
He said, "Get me a Jewish doctor." Okay, now I don't know how true it is, but I heard directly from the horse's mouth of the cleaning lady that was working there. That's all I have to say. It was like a bizarre, side story, because she didn't understand that he hates them she didn't understand because she was explaining to me when he was ill that he had wanted, and I speak a little Spanish, all right?
And really that brings up the issue of
Are Jews white? Are Jews white?
No, I wanted to actually the idea that you brought up in my mind was that in Israel, they have per capita deaths and per capita cases of infection from the coronavirus that is greater than any other nation on the planet, and that is disgusting to know, and it shows the incompetence of that government, and it saddens me because you would think the concept of a Jewish doctor that you're just referring to that Reverend Farrakhan wanted, that hey, we know shit,
Yeah.
and we're just as stupid as everybody else, you
Well,
know.
I will tell you that just came in on the hotline right here with Martina Jones, and I'm glad she brought this up because we wanted to bring this up, Martina. We didn't know how. Um, Both Martina and I are mixed, and we're black, but we're mixed. And her dad's Quincy Jones, mine isn't. My father is also a musician, by the way, not successful because he would be sitting in this chair with this guy. Um, but isn't it really difficult still for the mixed the era is different now, but people like Martina, people like me, she's a Swegro. That's her line. Swegro is a beautiful name. She's a Swedish Negro. And I told her we should work on a show with a bunch of us, but she speaks fluent Swedish. And she says to me, with a name like Kroonquist, how do you not speak Swedish? And I'm like, a name like Jones, how do you speak Swedish?
You
Where do we
watch
fit in? Where do we fit in?
you watch Swedish TV shows and you'll learn.
Oh, wow. Yes.
I saw one recent. I forget where it was, Netflix or Amazon. That was incredible. Some of their shows are. It was a limited series and
Did you know
really
I was on
terrific.
Sweden's Next Top Model?
No,
I was on Sweden's Next Top Model, and I was there as a casting director who was making them do improv with a toothbrush. And you have no idea what this was like. It was hysterical to watch so many different names that were so similar to mine, so many different colors, so many Persian Swedes, so many Arab Swedes. And it was the Arab Swede who picked the toothbrush, the same toothbrush they're all using, and put it in her mouth in front of me. It was so crazy. And at the end, they let them know it's a joke and I'm not a casting director. And everybody's giving me high five. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know what they're saying. But what do you think about the mixed performer like the Barbara McNairs? But this generation doesn't know. Who else was mixed? Frida Payne. Who else was mixed?
I Frida Payne, a good singer
Oh,
and a very nice person too.
still working.
As a matter of fact, when I met her, it was when I was working with George Benson, and the one of the producers there had a thing for Frida Payne, but she didn't like him.
'Cause all that's left is a band of gold. But you see how the black performers were coming out with those songs? The only person that did it so cool that you didn't realize it, except the black people, was Sam Cooke, the legendary Sam Cooke. And what a sad ending. And to learn as an adult that it wasn't true. I heard he was killed for dating white women. That's why black men shouldn't date white women. And the truth is, it was a
No, he
black
was
woman who killed him.
actually with Sam Cooke, and then the other tragedy is Marvin Gaye.
Oh,
With Sam Cooke, he was killed
by
in
the feds, by
my
FBI.
by my humble opinion.
Hoover.
I no no
Who?
no no no. In my understanding is that he was a threat to white business, white recording companies, and because he could do it all.
He was the
He he
Black
he
Elvis, baby.
he could do it all. And not only that, he was a business genius. So he was able to do everything. You know, the business side is really hard, and plus the creative side, which is the reason why you get into it. He was beyond genius, and he
So
was murdered,
smooth.
as
He was
far as I'm concerned.
murdered.
Yeah,
He was murdered, and no one did anything about that.
one of the arrangers and writers that I work with or have in the past, his wife is a specialist in musicology, but her specialty is black music, and I think she did a paper on Sam Cooke. Uh,
It's
it's part of the pattern of
but
America.
yeah, but still, these young people need to know about this and like know who he is and know the Wilson Pickett's of the world and know Jimmy Cobb, the drummer that just passed away. I used to call Uncle Jimmy. It's amazing these talented people. How I said to this one kid, "You look so much like Sammy Davis." You know what he said to me? He goes, "The baseball player." I said, "That's Sammy Sosa." They don't know, but
They
they
don't know.
sample their stuff, don't they?
Maybe.
I mean, come
maybe.
on. What do you say
Well,
about the?
Sammy Davis was that's another story. I met him, by the way, at there was a club in Beverly Hills called the Daisy, and where every cool person,
Tell me about the
yeah,
Daisy.
and there was another one called the Candy Store, and I think I met him at the Candy Store. He was at a table and women around him, and I just said hello.
That's so
Yeah.
cool, though. Like,
As a matter of fact, that's how I met Jim Brown, the
oh my
football player. A
God.
great guy, nicest person you would talk to. And I remember once there was a fight at the candy store. It was two Italian kids who were, and he just sat on the side, let them,
Let him be.
yeah, let them be.
You must know so much about Hollywood history. Never mind, you're a guy from Jersey. I mean, what made you come out to LA from New Jersey? What would ever make you leave beautiful Newark? Come on. This guy worked in Patterson. He has stories.
Yes. Uh, there,
What
I
made you
was
come here?
telling one of your the gentlemen who work here for you that and with you that Newark and LA is like night and day. I remember going. I went to law school in Newark, and I remember I would watch
Call out your law school, please.
Sam Yorty talk about Los Angeles with Johnny Carson, and you know there is no choice.
You
I
came
was
out
telling them night and day,
night and day.
and
But
you
Jersey
know
had a flavor. You left too early. That's why.
I don't think so. I think
You were in a rough part of town, though. I don't blame you. I hate to say it, but I'd rather be in
that had
Patterson.
nothing to do with it.
Why'd you go?
I left primarily for family reasons. I didn't get along with
Certain members.
certain members.
And it's amazing. Only Jews do this because Italians make up at Christmas, and only Jews say they're dead to me and they mean it. They will not talk.
They're not obviously not, but
No, I'm saying you will run away and stay away.
I left. It just
It's too much.
too much.
It's too much. And everyone thinks it's so easy being Jewish. Jews have all the money. Jews have this and that. Try being a Jew. They say, try living without a Mexican for a day. Try being a Jew, okay, for a day and see how much you got to deal with in one day. How much guilt when somebody calls. We need a minion. You got something to do all the time. Right? It's something to do all the time. All the
Yeah.
time. You have to be. He's done so much for me. He had gotten Aaliyah, my daughter's bat mitzvah. I mean, so much. And I'm just so glad that you were such a big part of that singing part of life, of making them know that this is serious and people are taking you seriously. Like, you want to be a singer, you better show up for work and act like you want to work. And you've instilled so much into me. What could you tell these new singers coming out? What is the best advice you can give to these young kids who are in the arts, besides keeping it clean and staying off the pictures, and what else?
I don't need to say anything because they know everything.
The teenagers.
They're on TikTok. They're on all these.
You need them, Jim. You don't believe you need them.
Oh, I feel I do. My grandson has instilled that in me.
Jim loves babysitting.
Yeah, no, not really, but
You don't see him like the happy grandpa. How many minutes do we do? I can have some time. Want to have some fun with him as soon as. Oh, it's so nice. You got somebody here to pay your parking meter. I want to say hi to Fanny Roach also.
oh, the time has gone by really nice.
It has been. It
Yeah.
has been, because I wanted to cover like all of these things because,
We haven't covered anything really.
oh, come on. If you could talk about Sam Cooke and remember
Actually,
the era.
I would like to talk about Marvin Gaye because
Tell me. That was sad. That was the saddest.
what happened to him was tragic. But the point I want to talk about his genius and how I learned about it. One of actually the first production job I ever had was I produced a sound alike of Marvin Gaye's pre-70 shit, and I to do that I sort of untangled layer by layer what he did in those songs, and the guy was a genius. I learned so much in terms of well, everything, the textures in putting a production together, layer upon layer. Not only the foundation, and now kids want just bass and drums and a little bit of sprinkles, and that's it. But to
There's layers.
to understand the textures that he was able to produce, and these really enjoyable songs that were entertaining. We're talking about esoteric shit when you say how intellectually he did X, Y, and Z, but they were good songs that were artistic and made you want to listen.
It made you want to live.
And
You want to,
yeah,
and it made you want to get it on. Because when
well,
you
that
heard that,
too.
you wanted to get it
Uh,
on, baby. Let's get it on. You know what they were talking about. You know.
well, the best one of those songs, I hate to say, was not Marvin Gaye, but there was a song when I went to uh, Puerto Vallarta with a friend of mine, and I come out of the airport and take the cab to this hotel, and there's my friend with a drink ready for me.
Ah,
Great, and in terms of weed, I mean, for like $5 you could get a pound or some crazy shit like that, and you didn't worry
you like
about THC, But anyway, they had a discotheque in Puerto Vallarta called the City Dump, and it wasn't a dump. It was a place to meet and all that. And the hit song was a Mexican song uh, that
La Bamba,
no, I forget the name of the song,
Guantanamera.
but it was just the sounds with a Latin beat of a man and woman doing it, and I have it
The
at
man from Ipanema.
no, no it wasn't popular.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
So we'll never guess it. It
yeah,
was not
I'll
popular.
find out if you're interested. I'll go look for the song. I have it somewhere.
I'm sure if
But
not,
but
you'll write one.
but the point is that was the sexiest one I heard.
Really?
Yeah,
I think one of the sexiest songs I heard was Break for Love. Oh, but no, Honey. Honey, remember Honey?
of course. That
And
was a great
Sweet
album.
Sticky Thing. You just go from man to man. I just don't seem to understand why you're so very hard to take. You sweet sticky thing. Little buzzing bumblebee, I'd like to take you home to me. Will you share your beehive with me? You cast such a spell. It was real words, real music, and you sing with real words, and it's amazing that you wrote for Smokey Robinson.
I didn't write that. That
Who
was
wrote it?
uh,
Now, how'd you get the credit?
I was the publisher.
All right, so now we got questions because I don't know who's the publisher, who's the writer.
Okay.
Tell us about it. Judy wants to know. Carlos Miranda wants to know. Tony Hayes wants to know. And Fanny Roach wants to
The
know.
difference between okay, actually, after that experience with the sound alike, and by the way, that was the time where they had cassettes and they would sell them at car washes and in supermarkets, and it was
They
a
were great.
bestseller.
I know.
My production of Marvin Gaye's sound alike was a million seller, and I made studio time for it.
Wow.
So uh, so what did you want to know? The difference between a publisher, which was my actual in the music business, really my start, uh, is that you buy the rights to a song. And so most publishers, they buy an exclusive contract with a writer, and they get all their songs during that period that the contract asks for. And so the publisher then takes the song, gets it recorded, and tries to place it with an artist so that it could be heard. And then they make their money from every time that song is played
But the
on the radio.
publishers make the real money.
That's what I'm talking about. every time the song is played, it's either ASCAP, which is
Or BMI.
or BMI. And by the way, you have to join because and this is for everybody to know. Uh, we have created some songs together, Sunda and me, with her wonderful jokes. So we'll see how it goes.
Listen, and if you don't like it, don't blame the pot, okay? Just don't blame. Just laugh. That's all.
You're supposed to laugh.
You're supposed to laugh because you
Yeah.
know something. Everybody can sing. I think a little bit. Not everybody can be Karen Carpenter, though. She was one of the greatest. I think. I'm sorry.
Anorexia, was that? Is that the reason why she passed?
I thought you were talking about my cousin Anorexa. I'm kidding about that. I don't have a cousin named Anorexa. No, I was talking about her singing.
Well, her singing was sublime.
It was so like it was. What would you like? Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud. How'd she do that thing? Like moon in the sky. She can use it like an instrument too, a little bit.
She was a good singer.
And
Yeah,
the
she
brother
was.
had no idea she was partying. Poor thing. He was. I mean, that he was partying. She was. Those are such sad stories.
It is.
When you look at everybody, that's things that have happened since I've been in LA have never happened to me in Paterson, New Jersey. Michael Jackson died on this street. Whitney Houston.
Ventura and Havenhurst. He lived near there, and so I would go to Gelson's because I lived near there also, and I remember walking in the parking lot, and there he was uh, in that Eisenhower type of jacket.
Eisenhower.
uh, those little jackets, and he was all dressed up. I said hi, and I had known a little bit about him through one of my writers who worked with them at one point. Uh, and so he was very nice. He said he was waiting for his mom, who was
Did he
in the
have the monkey
market.
with him?
He had no. He was just standing there next to his car.
Just standing there.
Yes, just standing there.
Dude, that's so crazy. You were standing next to Michael Jackson.
Well, good thing I wasn't a little boy, but
Yeah, that's true
yeah,
because you could have gotten a free prize. That's how we talk on this show. We don't say anything. 'Cause no matter what, there's nothing you can say about Michael Jackson, and that's crazy.
I'll
Or the
tell
Catholic
you
Church.
the next story about Michael Jackson is a story acknowledging his genius.
Thank you.
I was at the Grammys when he performed "Man in the Mirror,"
Oh.
and I was in the audience, and a lot of people that we would know that was in the audience that you wouldn't expect in a music show, like the sex therapist,
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth, well, a good-looking guy. I mean, I was amazed.
And he was paid. Go ahead.
I
Somebody has to.
Anyway, 1 second or 2 seconds after he just appears with a white raggedy t-shirt and just black pants, and just comes out, and you could see the socks and shit. And 2 seconds, and everybody in the audience, this is a professional audience, everybody was there into him. I did a show once for the Venice Old Jewish Home, and all the singers and artists who were performing, they were competing to see how quickly they could get the audience with to hear what they're doing, to pay attention, rap,
Right.
and so it was like a contest between the singers, and and the same thing there. I mean, 2 seconds. I mean, it was amazing, amazing, an incredible performer. And why wouldn't he be? He was forced to perform as a child, And so, how can you develop values? How can you develop an understanding about life when you have
Didn't have one.
when you have one? And by the way, I met his father, and to me, he was the nicest guy. I have a picture somewhere. We met at this. It's called MEDEM, Publishers Convention in Cannes, France. And so I was there with one of my writers, and He was there, and he had
Wow,
a
Joe Jackson.
he had a
It's
booth.
big.
He was trying to. He had a small label, and he was just trying to find distributors there. So, and
They were
sort of
phenomenal. But you know who else
anyway,
was?
the point I
Yes.
have want to make is that my writer's a white guy. I'm, who I am, and
Right.
Joe Jack. So he has a ring, a diamond ring from his diamond mine that I never saw a diamond that big. It must have been a zillion carats. I don't know. You could go blind looking at it. And then Jimmy, the writer, he had gold all and up and around his arm, gold chain, gold bracelet, gold rings and shit. I didn't have anything. I said, look at that. The Jew has nothing.
See that?
See that?
And you know what? They never think of who's signing the Jews' checks. It's not normally another Jew. It's usually the goyim.
Well, I don't want to generalize,
We
but
don't want to generalize. We don't want to generalize because you know something? At Talk Show on the Go, we love everybody and we say hi to everybody. And we always like to give a special shout out to whoever can help my hip because I can't sit in one position for a long time. I don't know how you do it. You keep busy, you keep active, you're always writing songs and you write the loveliest love songs. You would never think this guy would fight you for a parking space. I wouldn't take his parking space. I invited you to my kids' luncheon after a bat mitzvah, and someone says to me, "How in the hell do you know Jim Auspitz?" I say, "He's the nicest guy." I go, "Jim's my friend." The worst on the board. I had to sit at board meetings with him. He is a mean and horrible person. I was like, talk about my friend like that. I said, he's not mean and horrible and nasty. He's from Jersey. And that's it. We're not mean and horrible. We don't have time. It doesn't leave, does it?
I don't. Oh, you have your ring on now.
I do.
Yeah,
I did wear it.
yeah,
I
that's very
shouldn't.
pretty.
Alan Bursky. Oh my God. I have to tell you, that's Alan Bursky, who is the youngest. You brought up Johnny Carson. He was the youngest performer to go on The Tonight Show. And unfortunately, Freddie Prince's best friend when that terrible situation happened. And he's going to be coming on the show as well. So we've had a lot of celebrities here. Look, we have Quincy Jones's daughter. She's in a conversation with you. You're teaching her between pitch and tone. I don't
I'm
know
sure
anything.
she knows. I mean,
Why? Why would you think that? Do you think I could
well,
practice law?
she probably is aware. She must be a smart woman.
Oh, she is so beautiful and so smart. But I don't know about the singing because you know what? The cobbler's kids have no shoes. You never know. I'm looking for an attorney in Oregon. I'm married to an attorney. Don't you think they have like a reference? But that's how it is. But in show business, word of mouth goes a long way. And one thing I could tell you about Jim Auspitz is like it's better to be honest with him than not. Trust me on this. When I tell you about someone, I tell you exactly how they're going to be. Right?
Right.
I tell you the truth.
Yes.
I say pony up for this. This is how it's going to be. But I appreciate that you really look at me as underappreciated. That's a very nice way of putting it, as opposed to overlooked.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. It didn't even enter my mind.
Yeah,
No, you are
so
underappreciated.
smooth the way you said it.
But
'Cause
it's true.
it's
I
so
mean,
true.
it is true. And
Who could do everything that I do?
you're creative in the moment. That spontaneity is unique. Who does that? Everything is taped. Everything is. I've started to watch on YouTube little bits and pieces like of Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, and they're not that funny.
So why am I not on that?
Oh,
Why don't I have my own show like that?
Because of
Because I got stuck into the Jewish world. That's what happened.
I wouldn't say that. It's circumstance.
Not circumcised. I gotta tell you something. Because people say to me, "Why do you do all these Jewish shows?" And I hate to tell you, it's because they pay me. Okay, what do you want me to do? Say no? I mean, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not. And I work clean.
That pay me bit is we have that at the end of one of the songs.
Is that stereotypical of a Sunda?
Yes.
Of a Sunda. You see that? It has nothing to do with Judaism. It's just being Sunda.
It's just being Sunda.
It's just being Sunda. And just being here with James Auspitz, who knows every climate. You're talking about somebody who has seen it all and knows that music is a common denominator that brings so many people together. And that's why I welcomed you to Talk Show on the Go with the group of people that we have on this show all the time, different people, real roofers, real nail salon people, and then the stars. It's just a different world to find someone like you who could be so humble with all the beautiful work you've done. It's really quite marvelous. And I love you, Mom. He wrote this song, "I Love You, Mom," that
I
will
didn't
make you
write that
cry.
one.
Well,
See, I published. See, we have to go back to that
we
definition
yes, put him
and
on The
discuss.
Sopranos. He's the new Hesh.
The distinction is I bought the rights to that song, and I wanted to get into that discussion of most publishers would just be with one writer and not look at each individual song. I've done it my way, which is uh, I look at the song. If I like the song, it's great. I could sense potential in the song. Obviously, somebody who does a demo is not going to have a great recording of it, but
Right.
at least I could listen to the lyric and get a feel for the melody and the rhythm. And you know, if I like it, fine. If not, you go to the next song.
No, if you like it, fine. If you don't, you'll let us know. And that's the one thing I can tell you. But let's let them know, where can they find Jim Auspitz when they want to communicate with you on your social media platforms? And I know it's not the largest, but
It's
boy,
very
you have
small.
records. I know, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do this live. Okay, he hates being on live. All right. Cesar Garcia Solis from Patterson Catholic High School, who's in Miami right now, is looking at you, and you don't like to do live. Why is that? You don't like social media.
Oh, that's what you mean when you say live. I don't know. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it just takes up time, like Facebook. If you're really into it, you go and you want to hustle a zillion number of friends. Oh, I have a zillion friends. 99
But
friends.
that's not it anymore. It's the business. Somebody couldn't book me because I had less than 2.5 million people. So they had to use someone that has 2.5 million people. That's not even a stand up. That's a stand up on Instagram. That's how crazy this business is. And it can happen in stand up
It's
comedy as
the
well.
same thing in the music business. If you're a hit on TikTok, Warner Brothers or whoever is going to come calling. There was a Israeli girl who got like $1 million advance from Warner Brothers, and uh, she had a nice following, on social media. So I
Probably a
understand.
nice derriere as well. Hello there.
Yeah. Among
You can
other
find me
things.
on TikTok too. My highest amount of likes was on TikTok. It was in the millions.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And I
Yeah.
was caught off guard, and Abiba was singing and scared me. And so they like to see parents afraid, obviously, or petrified. Stupid, right? And then I have my cat cleaning itself, and I write, "Why do cats lick themselves?" And I put, "Because they can." And it's done to the tune of "What's New, Pussycat?" And I don't know why that was like such a big hit.
That's like my grandson's
Oh my God,
things.
my grandson.
They'll do
They'll
stuff
do
like that.
anything.
Yeah, that's their
Tell
thing.
them, don't show your pee-pee because it'll come back to haunt you later. Look at the guy. What's his name? Real quick, in the post I was reading, what's his name? From CNN got busted.
Yeah,
How do you do this?
Tubin.
Come
That's
on.
stupid. That is
Tubin,
so
stupid.
stupid.
What are you doing? And what turned you on between Republican and Democrat? I can't say anything. My husband had a fit the other week. I brought up Schwarzenegger, and then I asked him, did Lourdes clean the house in New York? And he started screaming at me. It was so funny. And you're going to say, how did I get to that? Because of the ADHD, of course. But I'm saying, what makes somebody get turned on by that? Tubin got turned on by screaming Republican, Democrat. And Schwarzenegger with the maid. Is she cleaning? She's not even wearing a maid's outfit. I found out about this in my building from Tita before this hit.
It doesn't make sense. You know what's the saddest? Guys like Louis C.K. and I mean, it's sad and tragic. Here's a Hungarian guy, a Hungarian
That's
Jew.
why he did it.
No.
He's crazy. Hungarians are all nuts. I love them. He's Hungarian. Louis C.K.'s Jewish?
His father, Mexican mother.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's screwed up.
Yeah.
Ah.
The point I'm trying to make is what's wrong with these guys? Why do they have to show their whatever? What is the
Can I
point
tell you
of it?
something?
I don't understand it.
when they wanted me to speak on the news about Louis C.K., I couldn't say anything about that. I thought he was so shy. He got me my first job in voiceovers professionally with Chris Rock.
His shows were great. He's a good writer.
But how long does it take for a woman? How long, women? I'm just asking this real quickly. How long does it take while you're standing there to realize after he's finished that you should have left the first time you saw that little pink head come out? Just leave. And then take a picture of him, stop him. Then, I don't know how long you work with him under this abuse. How do you work with somebody dangling or dingling at you?
Well,
You got a paycheck.
You know, one of my favorite
And
shows.
one's not even funny that was talking about it because I remember her from New York. I was like, oh, come on.
The show he created with Pamela Adlon, that a terrific show. She's great. Better Things is the name of the show, and they were on together on previous Louis C.K. shows called Louis. And I didn't at the time that the shows came out. I never watched it, but on Netflix or Amazon, they were all there. Great shows, great writing. Better Things Now is probably the best show on TV. Pamela Adlon is incredible. I'm so
Well, we have to do something incredible.
yeah.
Speaking of,
But the point I'm trying to make is how could she be with that guy? I mean, and
come on, you
know,
guys do stupid things all the time. All men are stupid.
well, it's not that all men are
Sorry.
stupid. All men are jerks, you know. Testosterone buddies, you know.
Yeah.
They're led by their
Talk
dick.
about TVs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you stepped
Roy's
on
doing
that.
something. See that?
Yeah,
See what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
It's like the shoe factory. Who started that fire? A bunch of heels. That's what Lucille Ball said. Guys, I know we've gone on so long, but we're going to be back, and we're going to be back with some snippets of songs that me and Jim have done. And I just want to thank John Michelle and Joffrey Francisco. The names, it's too many syllables when you're missing, you know, a couple
Especially
of crowns.
if you're missing a tooth.
Yeah,
here
or
and there.
so. That's the tooth,
Yeah.
the whole tooth, and nothing but the
But
tooth. Right? And you know what else? Ignore your teeth, and they'll go away. But we won't. So please, guys, if you have a chance, tell your friends to tune in and watch Sunda and watch High Point Records' own Jim Auspitz, not only a writer, but a publisher. And he's going to be back with a lot more. Follow me on Sunda Live on all platforms, High Point Records on all platforms as well.
Hopefully.
And soon we will have a podcast, and he will have so many of his great performers come on as well. I'm looking forward to seeing your podcast as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now this talk show is on the go, and now we're out. Thank you, Jim Auspitz.
Thank you. This is Jim Auspitz. You've been watching Talkshow on the Go. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a great show featuring two fantastic people. I don't remember the names, but anyway, thank you very much, Sunda. It was an enjoyable experience. And everybody stay safe.